At some point in human life, almost everyone experiences it. A simple moment when life feels heavier than usual, when thoughts refuse to slow down, when problems seem to stack on top of each other without pause. Deadlines, responsibilities, unfinished conversations, uncertain futures, quiet worries that never fully leave the mind. And in the middle of all that, something almost automatic happens. Human beings search for entertainment, not as a planned decision, but as an instinct. We open our phones, we watch videos, we listen to music, we play games, we scroll endlessly through content. We step away, even for a moment, from whatever is happening inside our minds. And at some point, a question quietly appears. Why do humans seek entertainment when they are stressed? Why, when life feels overwhelming, do we not always confront the pressure directly, but instead turn toward distraction, stories, and stimulation? To understand this, we need to go deeper, not into behavior, but into biology, into psychology, into the invisible systems inside the human brain that shape emotion, survival, and perception. Because entertainment is not just a habit. It is a biological response, a survival mechanism that existed long before modern technology, long before screens, and long before the digital world. The human brain was never designed for constant pressure. It was designed for survival in unpredictable environments. And in that system, stress is not an error. Stress is a signal, an alarm system. When the brain detects a perceived threat, it activates one of the oldest survival systems in human evolution, the fight or flight response. Heart rate increases, breathing becomes faster, muscles tighten, attention narrows, energy is redirected toward survival. In ancient environments, this system was extremely useful because threats were physical, predators, dangerous environments, immediate risks. But in the modern world, threats have changed form. They are no longer always physical. They are psychological. Work pressure, social expectations, fear of failure, uncertainty about the future, comparison with others, invisible but constant mental load. And the most important part is this. The human brain does not always distinguish between physical danger and psychological stress. To the nervous system, stress is stress. So the same survival system activates, even when there is no physical danger present. But here lies the problem. The human body is not designed to remain in fight or flight mode for long periods of time, because this state consumes energy. Mental clarity decreases, emotional balance becomes unstable, and over time, the system needs a way to reset, a way to release tension, a way to restore equilibrium. And this is where entertainment enters. Entertainment is one of the most powerful emotional regulation tools humans have developed. When we watch something humorous, the brain releases endorphins. When we listen to music we enjoy, the reward system activates. When we engage with stories, games, or videos, attention is redirected away from stress and towards structured stimulation. This is not accidental. This is neurological regulation. Because the human brain has a limited capacity for emotional processing. When stress exceeds that capacity, the brain seeks temporary relief, a pause, a mental break. And entertainment becomes one of the most efficient ways to create that break. But there is something deeper happening. Entertainment does not only distract the mind, it changes brain chemistry. Dopamine levels increase. The reward system becomes active. Feelings of pleasure, curiosity, and engagement emerge. And this creates a direct contrast with stress. This contrast is what makes entertainment feel so relieving. Not because the problems disappear, but because the nervous system is given a temporary reset, a moment of balance, a psychological exhale. However, humans are not only biological systems, we are also psychological and social beings. And stress is not only about pressure, it is also about the feeling of losing control. When life feels uncontrollable, the brain naturally searches for something that restores a sense of structure. And entertainment provides exactly that. In stories, we understand narrative flow. In games, we understand rules and objectives. In music, we control emotional atmosphere. In videos, we choose what we want to see. Even if it is temporary, this creates an illusion of control. And for the human brain, control is deeply tied to safety. But there is another layer beneath this. Entertainment also serves as a psychological escape from identity. When people are stressed, they often feel trapped inside a version of themselves that is tired, anxious, or overwhelmed. Entertainment allows a temporary shift from participant to observer, from problem solver to spectator, from real-world identity to narrative identity. And in that shift, emotional weight becomes lighter. Not because reality changes, but because perspective changes. This is why entertainment feels like relief, because it temporarily reduces the intensity of self-awareness under stress. But this is not avoidance in a simple sense. It is regulation, like sleep for the body. Without breaks, the system overloads. Without recovery, performance collapses. And entertainment acts as a micro-recovery mechanism. Interestingly, not all entertainment works the same for every person. Each human brain has different emotional associations, different memories, different stress patterns. Some people seek comedy when stressed. Others seek silence. Some prefer fast stimulation. Others prefer long narratives. Some want distraction. Others want emotional processing. This variation exists because entertainment is not defined by content alone. It is defined by emotional effect. But there is a paradox here. The more stressed a person becomes, the more they seek entertainment. But when entertainment is consumed excessively, it can shift from recovery into avoidance, from rest into escape, from regulation into delay. And this is where modern life becomes complicated, because entertainment today is infinite. There is no natural stopping point, no biological limit, no built-in pause, only endless availability. One more video, one more scroll, one more episode. And the brain, still seeking relief, continues to engage. But the original purpose was never endless consumption. It was restoration, a temporary pause that allows the mind to return stronger. And this is the balance the modern human struggles with. Not the presence of entertainment, but the lack of boundaries around it. Yet, despite all of this, the core reason remains unchanged. When humans are stressed, they seek relief. They seek emotional balance. They seek a moment where internal pressure becomes manageable again. And entertainment provides that space, even if only for a short time. A few minutes, a few hours. A temporary escape that allows the nervous system to reset. And in that reset, something important happens. The mind becomes clearer. Emotions stabilize. The body relaxes. And the individual becomes more capable of facing reality again. Not because the problem disappeared, but because the system has recovered enough to continue. And perhaps this is the real reason humans seek entertainment during stress. Not because they are avoiding life, but because they are trying to remain functional within it. Because human beings are not designed to stay in pressure continuously. We are designed to move between tension and recovery, between stress and relief, between effort and rest. And entertainment is one of the simplest ways this balance is maintained. A quiet pause in a noisy world. A temporary escape that helps us return. A small window where the mind can breathe. And perhaps that is why, No matter how advanced society becomes, humans will always return to entertainment when life becomes too heavy. Not as weakness, but as regulation. Not as escape, but as survival.